Chosen ones, prepare. Everything will be revealed tonight. The air feels different, charged, trembling with an energy that whispers through the quiet corners of existence. Something ancient has been awakened, and those who can feel the pulse of the unseen already sense that the veil between what is known and what has been hidden rose thinner with each passing hour. You were never here by chance. Every choice, every moment of doubt, every fragment of light that has guided you through darkness has led to this threshold. This is the night of unveiling, the moment the fragments converge, the instant the pattern begins to glow in its true form. You may not yet understand what waits on the other side, but your soul has always known. It remembers the promise, the call that echoed before birth, the whisper that said, "When the time comes, you will awaken." And before we step beyond that veil together, I ask you to stay with this message until the very end. Let it flow through you, because it is not merely words. It is a vibration, a frequency that aligns with your own awakening. If you are here, it is because the universe guided you to this moment. Let's unite that energy right now. In the comments, write your warmest wishes, something pure and bright that your heart longs to share with the world, and add the number 66 beside it. Together, this act of intention becomes a signal, an ignition of light sent across the unseen. When many souls focus at once, their collective energy creates resonance, and through that resonance, wishes begin to take form. This is a chapter about wishes coming true, about the universe responding to those who believe, who vibrate in harmony with love, peace, and awakening. So write your wish, send it into the current, and keep watching. There are no coincidences here, only divine timing. Chosen one, your destiny awaits. Click the hype button, like this video, subscribe, and walk with us into the light. Now, let us begin the journey. Tonight, the veil parts not with thunder, but with silence. A silence so profound, it contains the birth of galaxies. The chosen ones are awakening across the world, not through force or fear, but through remembrance. You may feel it already. That gentle stirring within you, as if something is trying to rise from beneath layers of ordinary thought. That is the signal. It is the pulse of the hidden network that connects all who have been chosen to awaken now. Across continents, oceans, mountains, and deserts, souls who have long wandered are beginning to remember who they are. They are sensing that their lives were never random, that their paths have been interwoven by unseen hands. And you, listening now, are one of them. The revelations that come tonight are not merely about events or secrets in the physical world. They are about the architecture of reality itself, how thought shapes matter, how emotion sculpts energy, how every intention becomes a seed in the soil of creation. For centuries, this knowledge was guarded, hidden in symbols, spoken only in riddles by mystics and sages. But the time of concealment is ending. The age of remembering has begun. The universe no longer whispers, it calls. And those attuned to the call, those who have endured the storms, the loneliness, the dark nights of confusion, are now ready to receive. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange pull when you look at the stars, that sense that they are not distant suns, but eyes watching, waiting, guiding. The world has been shifting, and you have felt the tremors not only in the earth, but in your heart. You've seen it in your dreams, the symbols repeating, the numbers aligning, the feeling that something vast, is about to be known. Do not dismiss these signs as mere imagination. They are the language of awakening. The universe speaks not in words, but in patterns. And when you begin to see the same signs appear again and again, it is because reality is speaking directly to your consciousness. Every repetition is a reminder. Pay attention. The truth is revealing itself. For too long, the chosen ones have walked among the sleeping. You've felt that sense of difference, that quiet isolation that comes from seeing through the illusions others accept as truth. You've tried to explain, but words often fall short, because what you feel is beyond language. It's an inner knowing. The truth is that you were never meant to fully belong to the ordinary world. You are a bridge between worlds, the visible and the invisible, the human and the divine. You carry light in a place that has long been shadowed, and tonight, that light within you begins to rise. Every doubt, every fear, every wound was preparation, shaping you into the vessel capable of holding what comes next. What will be revealed tonight is not a single event or a prophecy written in stone. It is a recognition, an unveiling of the hidden layers of existence that have always surrounded you. The truth is multidimensional. It exists in vibration, in memory, in emotion, in energy. When you begin to perceive beyond the physical senses, you will realize that reality is far more fluid than you were taught. What we call the world is only a surface layer. Beneath it, consciousness flows like a vast ocean, and every thought, every feeling creates ripples across that ocean. The chosen ones are those who have learned, often through pain, how to feel those ripples, and now they are learning to direct them, to shape reality with awareness instead of accident. You may begin to notice time bending in subtle ways, moments stretching, synchronicities increasing, dreams bleeding into waking life. These are not coincidences. They are signs that your frequency is aligning with the universal field. When you move into this state, your perception expands. You begin to see the connections between everything. The way a random conversation holds a hidden message, the way a stranger's gaze seems to recognize something ancient within you. The chosen ones are awakening, and as they do, the entire structure of reality begins to shift. The old patterns are dissolving, the veils are thinning, and what was once invisible becomes clear. You may wonder, why now? Because cycles of awakening move in rhythm with the cosmos. There are times of silence and times of revelation. We are entering a revelation cycle, a moment when the collective energy of humanity reaches a threshold where higher frequencies can enter more easily. The earth itself vibrates at a changing resonance, and human consciousness rises to meet it. Those who are ready feel it first, the chosen ones, the sensitive souls, the dreamers, the seekers. They become the conduits through which the light flows into the world. And though the process may feel overwhelming, it is sacred. It is the fulfillment of an ancient design. You may have noticed how truth can no longer be hidden. Secrets emerge, systems crumble, illusions collapse under their own weight. This is the purification before the new dawn. To the unawakened, it looks like chaos. To the awakened, it is revelation. What falls apart does so because it cannot vibrate at the frequency of what is coming. The chosen ones are not here to escape the world. They are here to transform it. They hold the codes of remembrance, the ancient knowledge of harmony between spirit and matter. Every act of kindness, every spark of awareness, every choice made from love sends a ripple into the collective field, changing everything. You may not see the full effect immediately, but nothing is ever lost. The energy you send out lives on, shaping the invisible architecture of tomorrow. The night deepens, and the vibration that began as a whisper now fills the unseen air. The chosen ones begin to feel the weight of what has been stirred inside them. It is not fear, though at moments it may tremble like fear. It is the echo of recognition. The truth that has slept in the marrow of humanity is waking, and those who can hear it realize that revelation is not a single flash of knowledge, but a wave that moves through every cell, every thought, every hidden corner of memory. When the veil parts, it does not reveal only the light. It also illuminates the shadows that have long been buried beneath denial. That is why many hearts are restless tonight. The light is touching what was hidden. Across the world, the same rhythm moves in countless forms. Some feel it as sudden clarity, others feel it as chaos. But both are part of the same unfolding. The chosen ones know that awakening does not arrive gently. It shatters what cannot stand in truth. The illusions that once offered comfort begin to dissolve. Old stories lose their hold, and the small voice within, long ignored, becomes thunder. Every belief that was borrowed must now be examined. Every truth must be lived rather than spoken. The night itself seems alive, as if listening for the sound of courage rising from within each awakened soul. The revelation that spreads through consciousness is not merely information, it is transformation. It is the realization that the universe is alive, aware, and responsive. What you think, you become. What you believe, you create. The chosen ones understand that reality mirrors the inner world, and therefore the cleansing must begin within. The task is not to fight the darkness, but to integrate it, to bring it into harmony with the light. Only then can true creation occur. This understanding is what the old teachers tried to express through symbols of fire and water, sun and moon, life and death. It was never about duality. It was about balance. As the energy intensifies, memories that are not of this lifetime begin to surface. Echoes of ancient gatherings, of temples beneath forgotten stars, of vows made in other worlds return like distant music. The chosen ones feel themselves drawn to these memories, not as fantasy, but as fragments of the same eternal soul that has walked many paths toward understanding. They begin to realize that the revelation of tonight is not new. It is the continuation of a story written before time. The universe is cyclical, and every cycle brings another chance to remember. The chosen ones are those who have answered the call across lifetimes, promising to awaken when the signal comes. That signal is now. At first, the human mind resists. It wants explanations, proof, tangible evidence, but the revelation cannot be contained in logic. It exists in resonance. It speaks in feelings, in intuition, in those moments when reality bends to acknowledge your awareness. The more you trust it, the clearer it becomes. The more you doubt, the more the veil thickens again. This is why faith, not blind belief, but inner knowing, is the key to crossing the threshold. Faith is the bridge between the visible and the unseen. It is the courage to step into the unknown, knowing that the unknown has already recognized you. As night moves toward its stillest hour, the chosen ones feel a convergence. Somewhere deep in the collective field, all awakened souls are gathering, not in body, but in frequency. Imagine it, a network of light connecting hearts across the world, shimmering like threads of gold. Each thought of love strengthens it. Each act of compassion widens it. Through that network, understanding flows faster than words. Ideas emerge simultaneously in minds separated by oceans. The same dreams repeat in thousands of sleepers. The same intuition sparks in strangers who will one day meet. The revelation is this: separation was always the illusion. The old world, built upon fear and scarcity, begins to tremble. You may see it in the news, in institutions that seem unsteady, in systems that once appeared unbreakable. But from the perspective of the awakened, this trembling is not destruction, it is alignment. What cannot resonate with truth must dissolve so that a higher order can emerge. The chosen ones are not here to rebuild the old with new names. They are here to imagine something entirely different. A civilization based on harmony rather than control, on cooperation rather than competition. It begins not with governments or laws, but with energy, the invisible agreements we make with reality itself. Change the energy, and the world follows. Some will ask, what exactly is being revealed tonight? The answer is layered. On the surface, revelations will come as knowledge, secrets exposed, histories corrected, manipulations uncovered. But beneath that, the greater revelation is inward, the recognition that power was never outside of you. The systems that sought to control humanity relied on the belief that you were powerless. The chosen ones break that spell simply by remembering their origin. When enough souls remember, the illusion collapses under its own weight. Light does not fight darkness, it simply shines, and darkness has nowhere to remain. You might feel waves of emotion as this truth settles in. Sadness for what was lost, anger at deception, awe at the vastness of what you truly are. Allow it all. Emotions are energy in motion. They are the current that cleanses the inner space. Do not cling to them. Let them flow. The chosen ones are learning that mastery is not suppression, but awareness. To witness without judgment is to reclaim sovereignty. Every time you choose understanding over reaction, you strengthen your field. Every time you choose love when fear tempts you, you rewrite the code of the collective. This is the real work of revelation, moment by moment, thought by thought, breath by breath. As the unseen frequencies continue to rise, time itself begins to feel unstable. Hours stretch and fold. The past feels near, the future vivid, as if everything is happening at once. This is closer to the true nature of existence, a continuum of now moments vibrating at different densities. The chosen ones are learning to navigate this new fluidity. They will learn to move through timelines not as prisoners of fate, but as conscious travelers. When you change your vibration, you step into a different version of reality, and each version reflects a different lesson, a different possibility. The revelation is that destiny is not fixed. It is chosen continuously by the energy you embody. The night grows silent again, but it is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence after a bell has been struck, when its resonance still lingers in the air. That resonance is the awakening spreading through humanity. You may not see it on the surface yet, but it is there. In the questions people begin to ask, in the empathy they begin to feel, in the courage to stand for truth even when the cost is high. Every awakened soul adds light to the grid, and eventually the grid will glow bright enough to shift the world entirely. This is how revelation becomes reality, not through grand miracles descending from the sky, but through ordinary people remembering they are extraordinary. And so the chosen ones wait, not in idleness but in readiness. They gather their strength quietly. They learn to listen to intuition as they once listened to logic. They sense the currents of energy in the places between thoughts. They begin to live deliberately, aware that every action is a signal to the universe. The revelation is not over. It is only beginning. The night of unveiling continues, and as dawn approaches, the first light will not rise from the horizon but from within. The hours after revelation are not calm. They shimmer with the weight of what has been seen. For those who have begun to awaken, life no longer fits neatly into the shapes it once held. Familiar rhythms feel slightly offbeat. Conversations echo with deeper meanings. Even the air feels charged, as if every breath contains invisible instruction. The chosen ones walk through the same streets, but the streets no longer seem entirely solid. Every reflection in glass, every fragment of light on water seems to whisper, "Look again. There is more than you were taught to see." The first challenge after awakening is integration. It is easy to feel separate once you glimpse the vastness behind the veil. The human mind, trained to measure and categorize, struggles to make sense of infinity. Some will feel an ache of loneliness, as though they stand between worlds, too awake to return to sleep, yet not fully anchored in the new light. This loneliness is temporary. It is the chrysalis between identities. When the chosen ones allow themselves to rest inside it, without resistance, the transformation accelerates. The caterpillar does not become the butterfly through striving. It dissolves and allows the pattern hidden in its cells to unfold. In this stage, silence becomes a teacher. The universe now speaks through everything, but it uses quiet as its language. When the chosen ones sit in stillness, the noise of thought begins to slow, and in the space that opens, guidance appears. Sometimes it comes as intuition, sometimes as coincidence, sometimes as a phrase overheard at the perfect moment. The awakened learn that prayer is not asking, it is listening. They start to recognize that every genuine question already contains its answer, folded inside like a seed awaiting attention. The more they listen, the clearer the current becomes, until every movement of life feels synchronized with an invisible rhythm. The revelation continues to unfold in layers. At first it seemed to concern hidden structures, secret histories, the unseen energies governing the material plane. Now it turns inward again, revealing that those structures exist within as much as without. The kingdoms of light and shadow are not opposing forces in the world, but reflections of awareness inside each soul. The chosen ones discover that every time they bring compassion to their own pain, they heal a fragment of the collective. The wars outside mirror the unhealed battles within. When the inner conflict softens, outer circumstances shift in ways that seem miraculous. The realization dawns that salvation is not an event to wait for. It is a state to embody. As the understanding deepens, time behaves even more strangely. Past memories begin to rearrange themselves. Events that once seemed random reveal hidden purpose. Encounters long forgotten suddenly glow with new relevance, as if threads of fate are being rewoven in plain sight. The chosen ones realize that the past is not fixed. It is a field of possibilities constantly updated by present awareness. By forgiving what once hurt them, they literally alter the energy of their history. By blessing what once confused them, they free the trapped light within old moments. This is not metaphor. It is mechanics of consciousness. Energy released from old pain becomes fuel for creation. The transformation is not always gentle. As higher frequencies anchor into the body, dormant emotions surface for cleansing. Dreams become vivid, filled with symbols. Physical sensations may fluctuate as energy realigns. The chosen ones learn to meet this process with trust. The discomfort is not punishment. It is the shedding of outdated density. Like a storm clearing the air, it passes faster when accepted. They learn to ground themselves through breath, through movement, through small acts of kindness that anchor the expanded awareness into daily life. Each simple gesture becomes sacred. Washing hands, lighting a candle, speaking truth softly. The mundane becomes luminous. Gradually, a new form of perception develops. The awakened begin to see patterns of light around people, feel the pulse of emotions in rooms, sense the intention behind words. This sensitivity can feel overwhelming, yet it is the true state of human design. The senses were never meant to end at the skin. They were meant to read the subtle geometry of existence. The chosen ones practice discernment, not closing off from the world, but allowing only frequencies that align with truth to pass through. They understand that boundaries are not walls, but filters. Through this mastery, empathy becomes power rather than burden. Meanwhile, the collective energy of humanity continues to build. Each awakening acts as a catalyst for many others. The invisible network of light hums louder, carrying new codes of thought into the global mind. Ideas of cooperation, healing, and freedom arise simultaneously in distant places. Old systems sense the change and tighten their grip, but the grip only exposes their weakness. The chosen ones are not here to battle those systems. They are here to render them obsolete by living differently. They bring a frequency that makes exploitation impossible because it cannot resonate with deception. In their presence, truth feels undeniable. As more awaken, the rhythm of revelation quickens. Prophecies, once interpreted as external events, reveal themselves as metaphors for inner evolution. The trumpets of heaven are the vibrations rising in human hearts. The fires of purification are the collective emotions being transmuted. The return of light is the remembrance of unity. The chosen ones learn to read these signs not as fear, but as confirmation that the process is unfolding exactly as designed. They become calm in the storm, lanterns for those still disoriented by the shift. Their serenity is contagious. Their laughter breaks the spell of despair. The next phase of revelation demands action, not frantic movement, but embodied truth. Knowledge without expression stagnates. The chosen ones begin to weave their awareness into tangible creation. Art that carries frequency, words that heal, communities that operate by resonance rather than hierarchy. Each expression of authentic energy becomes a beacon, attracting others who vibrate at the same level. This is how the new world is seeded, not by decree, but by example. The light spreads through lived demonstration. When enough such beacons exist, the field stabilizes, and humanity collectively steps into a higher octave of reality. In this dawning phase, many will still cling to the fading patterns of the old world. The chosen ones must remember patience. Awakening cannot be forced. It ripens like fruit. Every soul will arrive in its own season. Judgment closes hearts. Compassion opens them. Therefore, the task now is gentle persistence. To live truth so fully that others remember theirs simply by presence. The revelation teaches that convincing is unnecessary. Resonance is enough. When your frequency embodies love, Every encounter becomes initiation. The silence before dawn thickens. Something vast prepares to shift again. The chosen ones feel it as anticipation, a tingling at the edge of perception. The light they carry is gathering, condensing into purpose. Soon, the revelation that has been inward will begin to mirror outwardly. Signs will multiply. New connections will form rapidly. What once took years will unfold in days. The momentum of awakening cannot be stopped now. The universe has chosen expansion, and through the awakened, it expresses that choice. The first rays of dawn do not break in the sky. They unfold within the heart. What had been an inner stirring becomes a quiet certainty. The chosen ones, who have spent the long night listening, sensing, remembering, now begin to feel purpose taking shape like a constellation forming from scattered stars. The revelation has moved from vision into embodiment. It is no longer enough to understand the pattern. They must live it. In each of them, light seeks expression through human hands, through voice, through gesture, through presence. They rise into the day carrying a new awareness of time. The hours ahead are not measured by clocks, but by synchronicities, by the flow of resonance that tells them where to be and what to do. Chance meetings, sudden inspirations, subtle impulses, all are recognized as guidance. The world itself seems to respond differently, as though reality has become interactive, a mirror that adjusts instantly to intention. What was once coincidence is now dialogue. The chosen ones walk through this dialogue with humility, learning that power without heart dissolves quickly, but power held with love multiplies. The energies of the old world still linger. They swirl around them like fog, fear, confusion, resistance. But these are only remnants of a dream that has lost its grip. The chosen ones do not fight the fog. They shine through it. Every act of calmness, every quiet refusal to participate in despair, thins it. They understand that illumination spreads not by argument, but by example. When others witness peace where fear should be, curiosity awakens, and that curiosity is the first spark of their own remembering. Thus, the chosen ones teach without preaching, heal without imposing, lead without control. And in this way, their very being becomes a silent beacon. Without needing to prove or persuade, they embody the truth they once sought, and that truth moves outward like ripples through still water. The fog slowly dissolves not through battle but through the steady warmth of presence. What remains is clarity, simple, radiant, unforced. The chosen ones continue forward, not as conquerors of the old world, but as bringers of dawn, walking lightly through what once was shadow, leaving only light in their wake.